want to welcome back, and thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I hope you all have had a wonderful day and a wonderful night. Continue to have a wonderful day and a wonderful night. Let's go. The zoning everyone can always strive to be the most wonderful and best version of themselves, which is the truest version of you. And then we always know that everything's going to be okay. And then we know what our real purpose is for being in this world, and not what just is the conduits for it. So we're doing Pirkei Mishnah Daled, according to the Rambam, Mishnah Gimel, but we're saying Mishnah Daled. So yeah. Asara nisyonos nisnasa Abraham Avinu ve'amad b'chulam lehodia kama chibaso shel Abraham Avinu alav hashalom. Our patriarch Abraham was tested with 10 trials, and he withstood them all to show how great was our patriarch Abraham's love for God. So those 10 trials. First one is Lech Lecha Meretz, about leaving your land. Second one is the famine in Canaan, even though he was promised to be made into a great nation. The third was that the Egyptians took Sarah. The fourth was against the 4 kings. The fifth was marrying Hagar after despairing over Sarah having no children. Sixth was having a Brit Milah at an old age. Seventh was the king of Gerar taking Sarah. 8 was the banishing of Hagar after she bore him a son. The 9th was banishing Ishmael, which was, the pasuk says, was very difficult for Abraham. And the 10th was a kid at Yitzchak. So that's it technically for the Mishnah, but I wanted to say something that I heard from one of my Rebbeim at Lev last year, and then I kind of expanded on to make a little bit of an idea connected with this Mishnah. So if you want to stay around, you can. If not, then you can go. So then is that we know that the Avot, that whenever they struggle and strive and push through, it's that those types of that ability comes to us. So like the fact that Abraham lived through all of these things and pushed through all of that, it gets to us. And so there's a Rashi that's connected with this idea with this Mishnah in Shmos Perek Yud Tet Pasuk Hey, where it's Hashem saying, if you will hearken and listen to all my commandments, I will make you into a great nation. And that Rashi says that Kol Hatchalot Kashot, all beginnings are difficult. And so we're going to say a quick idea based on what Torah that I heard from Citron last year. Shout out to Citron. And yeah, so beginnings, and if it doesn't make sense, we're just going to roll with it. Beginnings are difficult. And if you don't feel the resistance at the beginning, you're most probably going in the wrong way. Because your Yetzer Hara is just saying, he's not going the right way. He doesn't got to do anything. You need to throw everything you have, all your strength. Don't just dip your toes and dive in head first, or else you won't be able to go as far as you need to. It's like a space shuttle escaping the atmosphere and the gravity of Earth. If you feel no resistance upon ignition, that's because either A, the failure was a dud and you aren't going anywhere, or B, you're pointed directly at the ground and you're about to slam into it. A space shuttle goes all out in thrust in the beginning, I heard a pool's worth of fuel every second, the first stage. So too with us. Go all out at first. Use everything you have. Use everything you are and have as resources to get you off the ground. Then when you burn out as far as you can with that part, decouple the first stage and fire the second stage. It's built for the new environment. The second stage of a shuttle is used for the new environment that it's in, and it doesn't treat it like the base or that. It doesn't treat it like the stratosphere anymore. So for this new environment, while it may seem weaker, you don't actually need as much thrust anymore to maintain your velocity, since there's less friction. You repeat this decoupling and firing process over and over and over until you fully escape the pull and friction of the Earth. But instead are in space. There's no more friction, and you've made it. Now do it again, because what you have been doing is that there's no more friction. It isn't difficult. There's no more resistance. So it's time to start again with something new. You could have the most powerful engines and the most fuel in the world. The most important thing is consistency. If you aren't consistent with how you burn fuel and propel yourself forward, respective to each stage, you won't go anywhere. And God forbid, if it stops in the middle of the atmosphere, you'll come crashing back down to the surface. And so you go for your go for launch, and it's T minus 15 seconds to liftoff. Are you ready? It's the idea of that. The beginning of it's a lot more difficult. Kolat kaluk kashad. But the thing is that once you get the ball rolling, it's a lot easier. I can tell you from my own personal experiences with just doing Agrowth, the beginning of it, thank God, was in a frame of mind that is much more like positive and wanted to do some things like this than nowadays. But so I just drove into it. But nowadays it gets kind of difficult. But I'm keeping it up because it's like, I've already started this. I want to finish this. I want to do this. And I love being able to do this. It's sometimes difficult. And so it's that strength. I don't need as much as I did in the beginning. I don't need to be like, oh, do we really want it? We're already on Pirkei. It's like, I came this far. And it's just that pull, that environment's different. But that's the thing. Every environment's different, and you just gotta use the right stage. You gotta use the right fuel. But remember, go all out. Don't hold back. And yeah, so thank you so much for listening. I hope you all have a wonderful night.